Getting you now to some of your other big news of the day. Tonight, nearly 50% of registered voters in Georgia have cast their ballots.
Yeah, this comes about 24 hours before the end of the early voting period, which is tomorrow. Some of the data shows why Republicans are optimistic about winning Georgia on Tuesday. 11 Alive's Doug Richards with the political team joining us live in Clayton County, breaking down the numbers for us tonight. Doug.
Yes, that's true. Here in Clayton County, this is a Democratic stronghold where the early vote, according to state data, is lagging behind the rest of the state, which raises a question as to whether this possibly foreshadows results after the votes are counted next week. 4 years ago, Democrat Joe Biden won a resounding victory in Metro Atlanta. Clayton County helped lead the way. Biden won 85% of the vote in Clayton County, but this year, with statewide early voting pushing 50%, Clayton County's early voting is lagging well behind the state average. The same is true in other outstate areas where Biden won easily. Data from Albany, Dougherty County, Augusta, Richmond County, and Macon, Bibb County show early voting well behind the state average.
Well, I think what we're seeing, Doug, on a statewide basis, but certainly in the counties you mentioned, is depressed turnout, particularly in the Black community, particularly among Black male voters.
Georgia Republican Chairman Josh McCoon says the lower turnout in Democratic strongholds indicates an absence of enthusiasm for Democrat Kamala Harris's candidacy.
That Black voters are not supporting Vice President Harris at the level they've supported previous Democratic candidates for president.
But state data also shows above average turnout in other metro Atlanta counties Biden won 4 years ago: DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, and Gwinnett.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I've been hauling folks to the polls to vote.
David Lucas represents Macon in the state Senate. He says some lower income voters who might support Harris are having challenges getting to the polls early.
We've been working on trying to get folks to understand that this election is very consequential.
So the counties in Georgia with the highest early vote totals are Republican counties. Historically, that's not been the case. However, the GOP has been encouraging Republicans to get to the polls early, and this is the result through tomorrow until it ends, at least the early voting part. We are live in Jonesboro tonight. Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
Doug, thank you so much. A reminder, early voting does end tomorrow.